please. Then I can start. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending this webinar. I'll start talking about, well, what is Better Factory and kind of give you all an overview of what our goals are for this project. So my name is Natalia Cardona. I work at Mobile World Capital Barcelona. And as Antonio said, I'm the communications and marketing manager for the Better Factory project. So what is Better Factory? Better Factory is an initiative funded under the European Commission Horizon 2020 program. And what we want is to invite European manufacturing SMEs, artists, and tech suppliers to engage in a set of one-year collaborative experiments in order to redesign the manufacturer's product or service portfolio. What we aim is to enable the manufacturing SMEs and mid-caps to enter new markets with customizable products. We also want for artists to be able to create new business models for themselves and to be able to reach new prospective clients through our initiative. We also aim for tech suppliers to reach out to new potential customers and test their technologies in real-life situations, implying a low financial risk. So we will address 4 challenges during our initiative. We have the first, it's the creativity challenge. We are aware that in order to stay competitive in the global market, now the modern SMEs need to reinvent products for customization. People and customers are asking every day for personalized products. So you will need to adopt new business models and invest into technologies to develop this new or personalized product. This should be done taking into account that it has to be around the value proposition of the product that you develop and around the core knowledge of the company. Like I heard Ali before said, imagine that you are a plastics company and you have a deep knowledge in a specific kind of plastic. In how many ways can you develop new products around that knowledge that you already have? The second challenge that we will try to address is the Lean Agile challenge. In order for these manufacturing SMEs to produce these batches of new and personalized products along their existing ones, they will require more from their factory floors. So these factories will need to operate as connected, lean, agile, cyber-physical systems, and they will have to minimize the use of their resources while also keeping the levels and standards that they've been having throughout their history in quality, delivery, time, among others. The third challenge that we want to address is the investment challenge. We know that art and science, when they come together, they're a huge driver for innovation. So the contribution of artists into this project and into this process that we're trying to develop here can spur a number of big new innovations and can help the manufacturing SMEs enter the path to digital transformation. Also, technology suppliers can help these manufacturing SMEs explore these new horizons with their technologies they're going to be providing. The thing is that we know that in order to fully exploit these unpredictable innovations and these new ideas and this combination of technologies, you will need to access finance. You will need finance, access financial resources. And last but not least, we're going to be tackling what we call the skills challenge. Well, the transformational process of the conventional factories as we know them requires to transform the mindset, the organizational design, the enterprise architecture in order for these companies to embrace the convergence of these technologies that they will be receiving. And this requires strategic thinking, simulation, planning, and also very important to keep in mind the reskilling and upskilling of their factory workers. So we will have available trainings for plant managers and operators on the topic of lean agile production, and we will make them available and on our robotics and automation marketplace ramp. So how are we going to achieve all of these that I'm telling you about? Well, we're going to do it through 16 knowledge transfer experiments into open calls. As you may know, the first step was expressing your interest, and so potential candidates, the manufacturing SMEs, the artists, the tech suppliers will tell us that they want to participate in our program. Now, the step 2, that's where we are now, is that with our support, you, the pre-selected applicants, you will follow a matchmaking process through our ramp platform. Then, as a team formed by one manufacturing SME, one artist, and one tech provider, you will create a joint proposal for the open call stage. Then these proposals will be reviewed and will compete with others. The 8 best proposals of this first open call will be selected, and then we will start what we call the knowledge transfer experiments. So how are we going to execute these experiments? Well, the 16 best experiments will have to have the goal to transform the manufacturing SMEs into these lean agile factories by delivering new and or personalized products or services and adopt them as their business strategy. As you know, you're a team of 3 stakeholders and you will have support of other 3 very important figures during your process. You will have the support technical mentors that will guide the technical implementations of your experiments. They will provide their expertise for resolving the technical issues that may come up and ensure that your solution is beyond state of art. Then you will have the support of our mentors that will guide and be there for the artists in order for them to develop the best creative solutions that provide real values, addressing the specific challenge that the manufacturing SME presented. And you will also have the support of business mentors. In this way, they will help you develop a business plan to exploit the results of this experiment and ensure that they have a long-term sustainability. So we will also provide access to 2 cutting-edge tools that will be developed and tested during the lifetime of our project. The Robotics and Automation Marketplace is a transversal platform that has been developed around lots of European projects like ours, and it aims to be a one-stop shop where the manufacturing SMEs and mid-caps will be able to buy services from tech suppliers, from artists, from competence centers, and from training providers. Then we will also provide access to the Advanced Production Planning and Scheduling, IPPS, that will be deployed on a free and open IoT platform. The Advanced Production Planning and Scheduling tool will help to automatically reconfigure cobots. And well, if you want to know more, here's like a brief overview of how this tool is going to be made. It involves a lot of our consortium partners, and it's great for your company. So, well, where are we now? Like I told you before, we made a call for you to express your interest. You submitted your portfolios or your challenges to us. And now we're in the teams matchmaking stage. And where are we going? Well, our next step is to create those teams of 1 manufacturing SME, of 1 tech supplier and 1 artist in order for you to write a joint proposal for a knowledge transfer experiment, and that you submitted before the end of our first open call. And I have to remind you that the deadline for this is on July 15th. If you want to connect with us, you can visit our website, that's betterfactory.eu. You can follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn. and you can use the hashtag BetterFactory. How will the future will look like? Well, when you get access to Brand is this marketplace that will create a multiplier effect in Europe and will carry the results of our project and the result of your experiments into the future and beyond what we can do for you. So I think my time is up, but thank you very much. And well, next is Ali. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Natalia. Ali, I think I need to make you co-host so that you can share your screen.
Is it now we are presenting the proposal template?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me share this screen.
By the way, for those who have already asked if we are recording the session, the answer is yes. So
is the screen visible, the template?
Yeah.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Ali Muhammad. As you probably some of you have heard it, and I'm the coordinator of this project. Thank you very much, first of all, for putting your application in the expression of interest. Please mute yourself if you're not speaking because I can hear myself back. Also, thank you for showing up today. And I think we think it is very important. The reason why we run this expression of interest is to bring you closer to us. After selecting, I think we received so many more expressions of interest, and you are few of the selected ones. We think that we need to provide more guidance because it is very important that what you write in the proposal and what you want to do with us in the project has to be aligned with the bigger goals of the project. So we start by presenting you this template. The calls will be opening next month from the 1st of May. And with that, this template will be available to all of you to make the proposal. And I explain this template really quickly. So there are two colors you will see in the proposal. One is this yellow highlighted and one is green highlighted. The ones which are green highlighted, these are instructions. So you should read them and you should follow them. And then you should delete them. So they should be deleted from the proposal. The yellow highlighted parts are the one which you are required to update, which you basically add your contents to for the proposal. So the first page is basically like more or less the data about you. Then we require that you write a small abstract or a summary about what is your project or your experiment is about. Again, this is the yellow part, so you write this. And just to let you know, I don't know how well is this visible. Again, this would be the publicly available part of your experiment, which we will publish if you're selected. So again, there is this already mentioned here. You should write the summary, executive, and delete it. So there are three parts of the proposal. As you know, in general, the first part is excellence. The excellence part is very straightforward. Basically, now when you start to come together as the manufacturing company, there is one SME and then there is one artist. As three of you come together, you should actually introduce your team. You introduce like the main people here, that who are the people, exact people who will be working and what are their backgrounds and expertise. You should use only one page for this part. Again, then second is the project description. So describe what your project is about. Give some detail about how is it valuable for you? Why do you want to do it? What would be the value for the manufacturing factory? What would be the value for the artist and the technology provider? And again, it's more like the things what you are planning to get out of this. And this is again limited to one page. If you are going to use more than the limit, the page what we have given the limit, we will ignore the additional contents what you will provide. So you will be risking losing some important information and your proposal may not be selected. Then the third part is the concept and the innovativeness. So this is the part, again, there is some green material which are instructions, and you should delete them after reading them. And this is the part where you should write about what are your goals, describe the details of the products and automation solutions. So just to, I think Natalia was specifying something you noticed called APPS, which is basically advanced planning, production planning and scheduling solution. In the Better Factory, as you know, that the reason why we have three different parties together, one is that we would like to see that how companies can be more innovative defining new products, especially how they can see that their products can be individualized, can be customized, can address a market which is emerging. That is one thing. And then the other thing is that once you want to go into the market of individualization and customization, or you want to produce more product from your existing factory, it means your factory have to operate in a very agile fashion. It cannot be operating as it is now for mass production or production of fixed item. Just to give you an example, actually, car manufacturer, and probably many of you know Nike, which is like the shoe manufacturer. You can actually order your individual shoe nowadays, or your individual car from the car factory. And your car or your shoe is produced on the same assembly or manufacturing line, where thousands and thousands of other cars or shoes are produced for the mass market. But one shoe is individualized according to your specification and delivered to you. This capacity has already been built by the large manufacturer, and we would like you to get along with us so we can also make this possible for the small, medium-sized factories. What we are offering in this is not some sort of very generic, all kind of solutions. The important part is that you focus we offer collaborative robots, which can be working with humans. The idea is that these robots can be very specific. They can take into account that who is the worker. Is it a male? Is it a female? Is it short? Is it tall? What is the age? Does the worker have some health problems? So the robot can actually take into consideration all that aspects. So it's also very interesting because many tasks which cannot be fully automated, but the productivity of the worker can be increased by using the robot on the line. The second thing is the logistics automation. Factory logistics is a big part of the whole production process. And if you want the agility on the factory floor, the logistics should be very, very agile. As an example, when a car is individualized and the customer wants, in this particular car, leather seats, it means that the leather seat should be next to the worker when the car arrives in front of him. So this is an example of very complex but agile logistics. The same thing applies to the resource optimizations and material. We think that actually most of the factories are using more material, energy, and producing more CO2. So this is more related to environmental impact, plus the reduction of the production cost. I'm sure that every one of the manufacturers want to use less resources, as little as possible. The last thing what we want to offer you, or we can offer you, is the one of the production planning. So you can always plan the next production cycle beforehand. You can see how your factory, you can actually create as many virtual factories as you like, and you can see that which would be the best model for you. That's the first part of the proposal. The second part is the impact, which is the business potential. So the first thing is the business potential. So you have to say that when I'm doing this, what I'm making is something unique, something better than what my my competitors have. The second thing is the go-to-market strategy. So how do you plan? First of all, of course, there is a market, there is the customer, but what are your channels? What are your resources? What are your plans to actually reach that customer, to expand, to explore that new market? And the third thing is the environmental and social impact. You define that. So this is the three criteria. Now this is the implementation part, which is the most interesting, which is actually what you will be doing during the experiments. And there is everything is already written for you. You are not required to update this part except the part highlighted in yellow, which is normally only the names of the partners. The other parts, exactly the task, what you're required to do, and what you're required to deliver, the schedule of the experiments is all fixed. So you're not required to write that part. And that part will, of course, in that respect, that part will not also be used during the evaluation. So I think that is all from me. I don't know if I finished early, but if you have any questions now, or is it later?
You're on time.
Perfect.
Maybe we can leave the questions for when we finish the whole session.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Ali. Let's move forward. Now it's Marta Coto from Innova Plus. So,
hello, everyone. So let me just start sharing my screen. Once you please let me share my screen, Antonio.
yeah, I'm trying to find you.
Yes, now you can do it now, Marta.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, you are seeing it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now about the matchmaking process. As you know, as Natalia well explained it to you, we are now at the moment of the Teams matchmaking. And this is as some steps included until the proposal submission, since you are part of this special group that has applied to the call for interest and not only in the open call, and you will get some support from us. So
sorry, Marta, can you put the whole screen? Okay.
You are not seeing my whole screen?
Yeah, because what we are seeing is your notes and
Also, I'm okay. Because I have my screen. Sorry.
You're probably sharing the wrong monitor.
I am now sharing the right monitor?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about the confusion. Okay, so as you know, the first step that you probably already have concluded is the registration in RAMP. So all the manufacturer, SMEs selected, all the artists, all the tech suppliers should start to register, and we have not a deadline for this, but you are advised to register until the 30th of April in order for you to can profit for all the matchmaking process as it should be. One thing that I must tell you, and this is very important, is that we have selected more than 350 applicants from SMEs, from tech suppliers, and from artists. And the matchmaking process will be carried out in different steps. So in order for us to find the best fitting, interesting partners together. Nevertheless, not all the applicants will find the best match. And we know that from now, because we have 52 pre-selected SMEs, we have 57 artists and 85 tech suppliers. So this means that necessarily there will be 5 artists that will not be matching. And this is the the case where all the SMEs will find a match, and we will have 33 tech suppliers that will not have a match. So this is important for you to know. Okay, so moving on this is all the steps, and I will explain you all the steps in separate. So the next step is the RAMP webinar, where we are now. So this webinar is for you to understand all this process, and also specific for the SMEs to understand how to fill out the challenge definition that they should introduce in RAMP in order to start all the process, and for the artists and for the tech can apply to this. Okay, the step 3 will happen in the 6th and the 7th of May. And this step will be very important. This is not mandatory, but you are highly and strongly recommended to be present in this challenge invite days. This challenge invite days will happen on the 6th and 7th of May. And the idea is for the manufacturing SMEs to present themselves and to present their challenges. And all the artists and tech should be there to understand what SMEs are now in the game, and how can they match. And also this is the moment for us, the Better Factory team, to try to see if the SMEs are feeling the challenge in the proper way, or if they need some help. And also, when we know all the SMEs that and all the challenge in a more specific way, we can also recommend some artists and some tech suppliers that we think are suitable for them. Nevertheless, this can happen in another way, so the other way around. So the artists that we don't recommend because we don't think that they are the more suitable, they can also, and Panos and Ali will explain this, they can also send a message for the SMEs they would like to respond to the challenges. This is also a possibility that can be done through RAMP. Okay, these challenge invite days will be split according to the clusters where the SMEs fit. So on the 6th of May, we will have the SMEs from the cluster of metal and machinery, furniture and wood, plastic and rubber. So the artists and tech suppliers interested and with expertise in these clusters must attend on this day. And on the 7th, we will have the construction, textile and leather, food and agriculture, and fast-moving consumer good that we have an SME from this cluster, from this very specific cluster. And then once again, the artists and tech interested in these clusters should attend. Okay, and then meanwhile, there is a very important moment, that is the submission of these challenges by the SMEs. They should submit in a written form in the RAMP platform the challenges until the 12th of May. The 4th step, this step is for the artists and tech suppliers, it's not for the SMEs, will happen in the 14th of May. And why? What is the purpose of this step? Is for all the artists and tech suppliers can express their doubts in responding to the challenges, and or if they have not have any SMEs asking for responding to the challenges, we can try to see if they can reach out to any SME in order to also try to respond to the challenge. Okay, meanwhile, so since they have the challenges launched on the 12th, they will have until the 26th to respond to the challenges that the SMEs have launched in RAMP, the artists and tech. The fifth step will be the SME support day. This step will be upon request, so the SMEs that want this support should express the support until the May 28th, and this step will happen on the 2nd of June. The objective of this step is to provide some feedback on the proposal that SME received by the artists and the tech. And this will also, from our part, see if these are the best suitable artists and tech, and if they are responding well to the challenges that the SMEs have launched. The almost final step is match fit feedback day. This will happen also upon request, but the big difference is that this is for the manufacturing SMEs, but also from the artists and the tech that the SMEs decide to invite to be present here, to understand in the most final way which of them they want to select as the final applicants to go through and form the consortium with them. And this session will be held on the 5th of June. So, and then we will have the final step, that is the support to build the joint proposal. So as you know, the open call will be open for the 1st of May until the 15th of July. And for you that are in this matchmaking process with us and through RAMP, we will provide you support and guide you to the full template, so to the completion of the proposal that Ali have just shown you, in order for the proposal will be the best in the best way possible, so it can compete in a better way to the others that are going to appear. So this is it for the matchmaking steps. And then Ali and Panos will continue with the explanation about RAMP. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Marta. Yes, in fact, Ali, please, can you introduce RAMP?
Yes, wait a minute. Do you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So once again, I think you probably have heard this name before, maybe in one way or the other during the application process, maybe after the application process, or even before you heard about Better Factory, you might have heard about the RAMP. So what is RAMP? It's a short for Robotics and Automation Marketplace. And this is actually a business-to-business marketplace. I think in the simplest way I can explain it that many of you are already familiar with the marketplaces, let's say like Amazon or eBay, which are business-to-consumer marketplace, where actually there are lots of sellers and there are lots of buyers. The buyers are the consumers. We can go there and buy television, buy a mobile phone, buy a t-shirt, buy a pen or a screwdriver, whatever we are looking, but these are consumers. RAMP is different in a way there that it is a business-to-business marketplace. So for example, some of the business-to-business marketplaces there are for metal manufacturing, that if you are looking to produce certain parts, one company can search for another manufacturer and place an order and get the things what they are looking to get delivered. But the difference here is that this is very much focused on one kind of customer. So the customer here is the manufacturing SME. So the companies which are factories, they manufacture something, and they have certain needs, and they are supplied. Of course, they need technology. They need competence center. Competence centers are the research and technology organization, which can, for example, help them with the experiments, with the demonstrations, that how it will look like in their factory. They might need help with the trainers and skill developers. They might need financial, legal, or IPR advice, and they might also need product designer, like we have now artists here in this scenario. So the idea is that there is one buyer of many different from many different suppliers. How is this marketplace has been done and developed? So it started with a project called L4MS, Logistics for Manufacturing SME. And basically, we started with that project. We started to develop this marketplace slowly. And then we had the next project called DIH Square, which I also coordinate. We moved forward, we took the concept, and then there is another ongoing project called Shop for CF, which is coordinated by Technical University of Munich. You are all familiar with Better Factory. And there is another sister project for Better Factory called Kit for SMEs. It is an AI, how the manufacturing SMEs can use AI. What we do in all these projects, we put together a certain technology, we put together the marketplace, we put together certain offers, certain technologies, and then we invite technology suppliers, so some of the sellers. And then we invite buyers, which is the manufacturing SME. So the big goal of this whole project, the big goal of all these experiments is to test that how this business-to-business marketplace can function, how the transactions of all these services and technology can happen in the digital space. So this is the big goal, and this is what you're participating. Your experiments or your projects are part of that. Of course, we would like you to succeed with the technology transfer, and that's the idea. So can you successfully transfer your technology from a seller to a buyer? And can you successfully transfer your consultancy, your concept, let's say like for an artist, like the design concept, in the digital space to a buyer? And the idea, of course, is that it reduces the cost for everybody and increases the customer base for everyone. And also for the buyer, they become much more independent with one supplier. They can actually access services from everywhere. The same reason why people, instead of going to the shop, they go to Amazon and order their products from there. In a nutshell, looks like this. So there is an IoT platform. This is a standardized IoT platform, which has been used in all the projects. We will provide this platform. You will be all required to use this IoT platform. This platform already have all different kind of IoT agents. As you can see, no matter which kind of device or machine you're using on the floor, you will find that most of the devices come with MQTT, OPC UA, low-level machine-to-machine, or some of those protocols. So you can connect all those devices, workers, sensors, whatever is located on the factory floor with this IoT platform. So this IoT platform becomes something very similar, like an operating system, what you have on your mobile phone or on your devices. But once you have an operating system, for example, if you have Android on your Samsung phone, you are immediately able to access the Google Store. You are immediately able to access many services from Google. So once you have this IoT platform installed in your factory, like an operating system, and devices are connected to it, you can immediately get access to the marketplace, to the ramp. So that's the concept. What ramp offer tools and services for both sides, for the technology suppliers and for the technology buyers. So for example, it has possibility that you can benchmark your own factory against what has been going on in the Europe. You can, once the devices are connected, you can see what's going on in your factory. It has many different data analytics tools. We provide a service for making a digital twin of your factory. You have different automation solutions which you have purchased or probably readily available. You can put your products there, and you can buy other such services, let's say like order an experiment, order some other consultancy service. So this will be the platform which which everyone will be using in the project. And for the technology suppliers, what we offer also is a set of ready tools. I think you heard the term called APPS. So there will be more description of it when in the later part of this webinar. So what the idea here is that there is a ready set of tools which we provide. Technology suppliers can develop. They can actually upload their own components in there, and then the system integrators of the technology suppliers themselves can use these components to develop the solution. They can test the solution on the virtual factory, on the 3D factory model, that how the solution will look like, how this will impact, and also get the validation from the customer. The customer can see that, okay, this is how the solution will look like. And when all the sides are happy, they can actually transfer the solution, sell the solution, or give the solution to the manufacturing SME, which then manufacturing SME can continue to use from the marketplace. Similar situation is for the artist. There will be a co-creation space. Just to let you very honestly, this is the first time marketplace when we have been working in all different projects with this marketplace. We have always been working between different type of consultants or technology suppliers. This is the first time we are working with artists, so there will be another some tools will be created for artists. I think I can also clarify here that as a consumer on the Amazon, when you go on the marketplace, you see an interface where you can download, where you can search for products. You can read the reviews, you can read the specifications, you can see the prices, you can compare the prices, you can put your credit card, you can order, and you can track your order, and so on. So all the tools, all the interface, what is required for the menu, for the consumer. But if you look at from a supplier side, so Amazon have a completely different side for a supplier. A supplier, when they log into the Amazon, they actually see where they can upload their product pictures, they can upload the prices, they can upload the specifications, and so on. So it's the same with Amazon. Basically, when you're registering, maybe many of you have noticed, you're registered as a manufacturing SME or as a technology supplier or as a consultant. And based on your registration, based on the type of business or the services you provide, you see a very different side of RAM. So not everything what is happening on RAM is same for everybody, because every stakeholder have different needs. So this is the whole technology and service transaction on RAM. Basically, we have some requirements. The idea here is that when you put your data, when the factory data and factory 3D models are available in the digital world, then they can be utilized by the supplier to provide the consultancy, to provide the solution, and then use that data and those models to develop the solution, and then give it back to the company, or give it back to the factory, which they can continuously use through the IoT platform. There is a standard contract. So everybody, once you are on the marketplace, you can always do business without really every single time going through a process of signing and reading and hiring a lawyer for the contract. There is a standard contract. Everyone can just say that, okay, I follow this contract. And with that contract, you can go ahead and start doing the business. There is a standard user agreement. The idea is that by this accepting, once you're registering to the marketplace, you are agreeing to respect every other IPR. If you get a good solution, good idea from one partner, you can share it with you cannot share it with your friend with another company and say, hey, actually provide me this kind of solution I got. This can lead to the legal problem. So you have to respect the IPR of other parties, so everybody feel that they are working and competing in the safe space. Also, there is all around security. So basically you see that there will be a possibility for an administrator to completely control what connects to the platform, what doesn't connect to the platform, what services they run. So we provide a complete security and complete safety for the data for the of the companies what you're sharing. And in fact, to be clear, you are the only one who owns your data. No one looks at your data. No one uses your data for any purpose. I think that was all from me on the marketplace. So just to conclude, this is the big part of the whole project, and this is where you're participating. This is something which is the big innovation coming out of this whole thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ali. Now is the turn of Mr. Panos Bouklis. He will make a presentation on RAMP. More in detail.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, hello everyone, I'm Panos Bouklis from European Dynamics. We're the main developer of RAMP. So RAMP in general is in continuous development right now. So from time to time you will see more things added and things changing. So I will quickly present, give you a sort of how-to to do some things that are at least that are needed for now. Okay, so I will start with going through the registration procedure. To initiate the registration after going to ramp.eu, we have to press the register button, and there are two main sections. One is for the company information, where we have to input the company name, the country, the VAT number, the business type, and the business type. So more specifically about the business type, we have three predefined categories. Automation technology is about technology providers who, or robotics integrator and this kind of similar businesses. Consultancy services is about consultants, so also artists that we have in Better Factory fall under consultancy, the consultancy category, and manufacturing is for the manufacturers, the manufacturing SMEs. And the second section is about the user's data, name, last name, role, mobile number, and email address. One important thing to note is that the first registration, meaning the registration of the company, has to be done by the CEO or a person that can act as a legal representative of the company. This doesn't mean that they will be the only one that will administer their own profile, as well I will show you in a while. But the first registration has to be by this a legal representative. The reason is that this person will be something like a super user in the company profile. So they will have the full control of the company profile in RAMP. So we cannot have any other person having all this control in the company profile. So after you fill in the fields and press register, you will see the notification that the registration is pending approval. So from our side, from the RAMP side, there is a background check to confirm if the person is indeed the legal representative. And if also if the company is accepted in the expression of interest phase, and if both are fine, we approve the application. One thing that caused a bit of confusion during the registrations is that the link after the account has been approved, there is a link to set up the password. This link is active for 24 hours. So if for some reason you missed this timeline, you have to go and use this forgot password function and enter the email to receive a new link, a new link to set up the password. So after setting everything up, you will be able to log in. Here, let me log in. As a manufacturer. So I'm logging as a manufacturer. First of all, we have, after logging in, we have the possibility to edit the profile. So at the right side, we have the personal and company selections. One is for the users information, and the other is for the company information. Especially for the automation technology categories and the consultancy, there is an additional field. If we go to the company profile and press the edit, there is an additional field that is optional, but it is good to have this, that specifies the kind of expertise that the company has. So let's say in this case, I have selected that I have a product designer expertise, and it is also possible to select more than one by holding control and clicking different expertises. So this is in short how to define the profile, and I will straight go to how to add more persons and administrators in RAM. So to do this, we have to go to the people selection in this drop-down menu, and we can see the users that are already members. It is possible to add administrators of the profile, and also to invite new users in our company profile. So to invite a new user, we'll go to the invitation, and we type the email address, the mail address of the person that we want to add. So I have a temporary email here. So I type the email address and press enter. So the other person will receive an email with a link with the invitation. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I think there is a different email. Okay, so we receive a link with the invitation. So clicking it, we go to a form to fill only the user details, as the company are
Panos, I think you are muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Okay, so after receiving the email and clicking the link, we have to fill in the user the user's information. And click register. And after this, the user will be directly a member of this the company where they are invited. So they will be removed from the invitation section of the administrators. It will be at the all employees. So here I am. This is the email I added. And after this, it is possible to set up a user out of this as an administrator of the company profile. So to do this, we go to the administrator and type the name. So I have 2 employees. The last one I added is this one. So I just start typing the name, and the fitting names appear in the drop down. So after I add one person in the administrators field, they will have all the rights to administer the company profile, like editing and editing the profile, and later setting up specific permissions for accepting the tools. And of course, it's possible to also delete either from having the rights of administrators or completely removing someone from the company account. Okay, so this is about inviting, including more employees under the company profile. There are 2 more things. One is to, I will show you how to, we want to support you in collaborating during the setting up of challenges and finding fitting partners. And a short introduction on how you can send messages. I will start with the second. The idea here is that if during the event where we have the presentation of the challenges, you, for example, you are a technology provider or you are an artist and you are interested in responding to a manufacturing SMEs challenge, you can try to find them. You can find them here and send them a message to invite you in the challenge, because as I will show you, the challenges are made in a tender-like format, and they are only by invites. Okay, so to send a message to another company. So the idea here is that we don't send a message to a specific user, but from company to company. We click the logo at the top right, and there is this partner catalog here. So this is a transitional phase, so maybe this will change place where it is in the platform, but right now you can already access it there. And from here, it's possible to use some filters if you like put the country and the type of the company, and find someone. So no one from Austria, probably. So after the ones that fit the criteria, there is this information button, and by here you can send them a first message to start to initiate the conversation. From there on, you can continue this whole conversation if needed through the messages option in the drop down menu. So I have actually sent a few there. So this is not intended to have real detailed conversations, but to have a first to have a first contact and try to meet with each other or express your interest that you want to participate in a challenge. Okay, so going into the challenge definition and this whole matchmaking process. This is done through a tender-like procedure, as I said, and this is initiated by the manufacturing SME. To start this, I just go back to what you see when you log in. To start this, you have to go to this tenders option at the navigation menu. So by clicking the tenders, a tool with different with different options at the left shows up. So these 4 options at the left represent the different stages at where a tender can be. So we start by drafting the tender when we just set up what kind of service we are looking for. There is the expression of interest stage where we receive the initial expressions of interest by different suppliers, and there is the proposal stage where we collaborate on a more detailed level, and the contracts, which is when we actually start working together with a supplier. So the reason we have these stages is that at the first step, we don't expect the manufacturer to provide all the details of the service that they provide, but to give a brief description of what they're looking for, so they can receive they can see what suppliers are interested in this kind of service, and serve as the first filter to find out with whom you would like to continue working in more detail. So to initiate a tender, we type a name in this box here. So I will write as tender and press enter. And then my tender will be created here as an icon, and I can go there and fill in the first details. So there is a title, there is an option to select the service type. For this one, I will select product designer. And a short description of the problem. As I said, just a description of the service that I'm looking for, not many details. So let's say that we produce chairs, and I'm looking for a designer for a restaurant chairs. Okay, and we then enter an indicative price. Oh, sorry, not indicative. We enter a price number. Let's say I don't know, like 1,000 euros, and we save it as indicative, fixed, or maximum. We can save also all the way we can save the things that we have entered already. And we also have to add the contact person from that is a user that is within our company profile, and they will act as a contact person for this tender. And this is done as the contact details of this person, like the phone number and the email address, will be shared to those who will have access to the tender. For example, in case there are more questions that need to be made, or to enable this more one-to-one communication. So I will add a person from my company, add. I add the person's name, and add that they are set up as a contact person. Of course, it's also possible to delete. Okay, save. And the second thing to do when I'm preparing a tender is to select the suppliers that we would like to participate here. So as I said, these tenders are invite only. So there is not a place somewhere in RAMP where all tenders are available, etc. So you as a manufacturer, you will have to invite specific companies that you want to see if they're interested in this. So to do this, there is this add or remove suppliers button, and you will see the catalog of the available suppliers in RAMP, and you can use some filters to identify who would you like to invite in this. Of course, it is also possible, if you already know someone, you know the name, to enter their name and invite them. And an additional thing, as I had previously shown, there is a field for the suppliers, meaning automation technology and consultants, to set up a kind of expertise. So we can use also this also as a filter. But for those who have not selected something specific as expertise, just to be sure not to exclude them, they will still appear. So let's say I'm looking for product designer in Finland, and in this case I will invite only another account that we know is a demo one, and you can use the checkboxes to include the suppliers that you want here. So after I'm done, you can either just click outside the window or click the close button. After the suppliers have been invited, I go back to make tender. You are now able to launch the tender. So if everything looks fine, I launch the tender, and the suppliers that I have invited will receive a notification email, and they will also be able to express interest in participating in this. So I confirm. Okay, so now my tender will have moved from the draft stage to the expression of interest stage, and going there, I can see the offers that are pending, meaning the suppliers that have been invited but have not responded yet, those who declined, and those who submitted an expression of interest. And also at the same time, I can review the tender that I have set up, so what I really asked for. Okay, so after this point, the manufacturer has to wait for the invited suppliers to respond, either submitting an offer, an expression of interest, or declining it. So I will now go to the provider side. So I will log in as this demo technology provider that we have here. This is what I see as a provider, as a supplier. So for the suppliers, instead of tenders, we have offers here, and this is the supplier side of the tendering. At this side, we have a bit different stages, maybe to say it better, a bit different naming. So we have pending offers, which are tenders where I have been invited and I have not responded yet, either expressing making an initial offer or declining to participate to the tender. The submitted offers, and then also the common with the other case proposals, which represents the detailed cooperation, and the contracts which represent our actual closed tenders where where I as a supplier was selected to work on this. So in the pending offers, I have this tender that I had made by the manufacturer side. I can view the tender information. So they're looking for a product designer, and they want to design restaurant chairs. So of course, I am able to decline the invitation. So if I decline it, it is removed and not participate in this tender. Or I can express my interest again in short, just to show that I'm interested, that I fit for this, to see more details. So so just a short description of my offer, of my fit to the tender. I can see that the indicative price is that, but I can also during my offer say my side of the price, and again set up indicative, fixed, or maximum. And there is also this all the time the save button to save the things that I have inputted. Also from this side, we need to set up a contact person. This is similar to what I have shown in the manufacturer side. So this is a contact person that is will be linked to this specific tender. So after completing everything, I'm able to submit my expression of interest. Here at the top right, it says submit expression of interest. After submitting, there will be a notification again, this time to the manufacturer. And from this side, from the suppliers, I will see now that it is in the submitted offers, and I'm waiting to see the manufacturer's response to my expression of interest. And at the same time, I can go back and review the process, the tender, and my offer. So I now go back to the manufacturer, as there has been submitted offer. So my tender is in the expression of interest, as we where we left it. There is no pending offer, no declined, and there is one submitted. This is the one that I just made from the supplier side. I can see a few, the most important information. I can see a few things about the profile and about their offer. And at this point, the manufacturer is able to either accept, either reject this expression of interest. So what does this mean? That is that with those that I accept, we will continue on a more detailed cooperation. So as I will show you that, and it is possible to accept more than one suppliers, even if it is for the same tender. As I said, we have this two-stage procedure, so we can maybe we can decide that we want to work on more details and share more details with more than one suppliers, even if in the end we select one to complete the contract. So here now I have only one, so I will accept this. Of course, if I reject it, there will be again a notification to the our cooperation with this supplier will be removed, will be deleted. But if there are more than one offers, I can select for each one of them if I will accept or reject. So I will accept this. Again, there is a round of notifications. And every time I accept one offer, there is a new proposal that is created. So this one is for the test tender that I made, and this is for my cooperation with this specific company. So we move now to the next more detailed cooperation. As I said, for the same tender, I can have multiple proposals with different suppliers. If I want to continue and share more details. So the proposal stage, I will click this tender with this cooperation, is to what we offer here is having a central file that explains the whole proposals that essentially practically later, if I accept it, will become a contract. But we can also share more files online, so we can keep everything in one place that is related to this specific service, and also the communication and messages. So just to go one by one, again, I can review the procedure, what I have up to now. I can review the details of the tender. I can review the details of the initial proposal, and I can work on the files exchange and the communication. So this part is the same for both sides. So it is the same for both the manufacturer and the supplier. That is part of this proposal, and both sides can upload the central file that contains the proposal or the work plan that will be the actual contract. In addition to this, we can upload more files. For example, if we want to share some photos or diagrams or things like that. Again, both sides can upload files, and actually we can we have also a versioning system to track the documents, and there are different versions, so we don't have old files or old versions in a place, but we have some file that has a specific purpose, and we keep the different versions of this. Again, as a clarification, we're allowed to upload up to 15 files in its proposal, both sides together. And there is also this button with the messages here, where we can exchange messages. Again, this is intended as to keep everything in one place. So this is about the specific proposal. So we'll keep this. In general, this part is not completely done, but in the follow-up weeks it will be completed. So there are a few things are not working completely yet. but this is how it will look like in general. And after we reach the stage where we find that the proposal is satisfying, the manufacturer can accept it. Of course, if they don't want to continue with this supplier, they can also reject it. After accepting this, this tender will move to the contract stage. This is not implemented yet, but the idea is that this tender will move to the contract stage, and there will be, depending on the service type, the service requested in the tender, there will be different kind of tools that can be used for this cooperation again online in RAMP. So this is the whole process. I also one more clarification I have to do is that at the proposals stage where we exchange all these files and these messages, first thing to clarify is that this is not the submission system of the proposal in the Better Factory. So this is a workspace for you to exploit it and use it for your collaboration. But the actual proposal submission will be done by the system, the funding book system, where you also expressed your submitted your application for expression of interest. And second is that this space is private. So whatever you do here, or whatever files and whatever messages you exchange between the manufacturer and the technology provider, yes, and the supplier, are accessible only by them. We do not see them, so they are solely for your use and to ease your collaboration.
Panos, you have.
Yes, I'm done actually. Yes.
You're done.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Panos. So since the next session is devoted to the manufacturers at SMEs and is not mandatory for all the present people, we are going to start a Q&A session on the presentations that have been done so far. So there's quite a few questions. Let me check from the beginning. Okay. Some people introduce themselves, which is fine. Okay. Well, there have been many questions about the recording and the presentations availability. The recording is going to be made available, and we will inform you. It's true that we have had more participants than expected, so it's going to be shared with all the people who were not able to be here. Okay. The first question, thank you, is Christian, who's making it in the challenge invite days. Will this be a webinar? Marta, maybe you can.
Yes, I can. Thank you for the question. So about the challenge event days, these will be held in the form of webinars like these one are, but we will have specific parts devoted to each cluster where the SMEs, and I didn't told that because I was going to explain this later on, the challenge definition, where the SMEs will have around 5 minutes each to present themselves and their challenges and the state of the art of their products to all the artists and the tech suppliers that want to be present. Okay.
Then the second one, when will the tech providers be informed if they will be recommended by the Better Factory Consortium to a manufacturing SME?
I can also answer, Antonio.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tech suppliers and also the artists will not directly be informed that they are recommended, but if the SMEs to whom we recommend the artists or the tech, if they accept our recommendation, they will receive an invitation, so a request to respond to the tender that is the same in this case of responding to the challenge. Okay, so I need to clarify this because this platform, the RAM platform, will be used for the future for market purpose. So that's why this is in form of tender now, but this is the same of the challenge at this moment.
Okay. The next one is about RAN registration. They seem to have a problem. Our RAN registration from a couple of days has not been confirmed yet. Is there an issue or do we need more technical time? So I don't know, Panos, if you would like to give an answer, although it's yeah, you cannot unmute. Please try to unmute because I think there are other questions for you. But we are suggesting to try to log in with your email and forgot password option. I think Panos is having a problem to unmute.
Panos, you're muted.
Okay, thanks. It said that the host does not allow to unmute. Yes, Ilya, there may be two things. One is if we have not confirmed if the person had registered as the legal representative. For that, we'll come back to you to confirm this. And second possibility, I'm just saying because it happened, is that someone had registered with a company name that was different from what was in the invitation. So if that there is also this case, for example, if you have entered the company in your name instead of the company name, then it will not be approved because it will not be seen. So just please follow up if possible with an email to me with the company name to see what is the specific problem.
Okay, the next one is about we get a list of and a description of manufacturing challenges. I think this is going to be discussed right after this Q&A session. Who will present most suitable tech suppliers to the SME? Better Factory advisors? Marta, maybe?
Yes. We will provide, so we already have the first description of the SMEs and also for the artists and the tech. So we will provide the 3 more suitable that we consider more suitable to the SMEs. So nevertheless, they have also the chance to explore the profiles, and I recommend that they do, to explore the profiles of all the artists and the tech suppliers that are in the ramp.
And what about the fact that the technology provider cannot, in fact, generate an offer proposal, and they need to be to wait to be contacted, right?
Yes, well, so this is how the process is built. So the SMEs are kind of the ones that are leading the process. So the SMEs are the ones that are going to share the challenge in the form of this tender in the ramp. So it's them that it's going to propose the challenge and not the other way around.
Okay, is there a way to see the tenders in the company profile?
No, like Panos explained, the tenders are only by invitation. So the ones that will have access to the tenders will be the ones that are going to be invited to respond.
Can I complement? So if you see that in the challenge invitees that there is a manufacturer that has a challenge that you really want to participate, you have to separately ask them, either sending them a message in ramp or whatever contact we can give it to you. We can also help you with that, but you have to ask them to invite you in this tender. So the whole process is initiated by the manufacturing SME. As technology provider, you have to first be invited in order to make an offer to a specific tender.
Okay. Would there be a session for detailed guidelines on how to use the platform? Well, the session has been done now. So as tech supplier, I see almost nothing in ramp. Where can I access, for example, a list of SMEs, etc.? I don't know, Panos, is there a way to see some examples or?
Yes, in what I showed at some point, by clicking the logo at the top left, you can see and going to that page, you can see that there is a partner catalog. And by filtering, you can select, like, I want to see only manufacturing companies, and you can also select only the country. You can see there the list.
Okay, then the following one is the manufacturing SMEs will have to tackle the challenge to select their artist and technology provider. Or is it the Better Factory Consortium that will do this allocation?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, you can see it on the screen.
Okay.
The manufacturing SMEs will have to tackle the challenge to select. I don't understand really what Javier means by tackling the challenge, but I guess that he's referring who is assigning the challenge to select their artist and technology supplier themselves or the Better Factory Consortium.
Okay. So in the expression of interest, the manufacturing SMEs have already kind of explained what are the main challenges for them at this point and what challenges they want to concerning product innovation in this case, and what they want to be solved during this KTA by artists or tech. So the idea here is that the SMEs explain this for artists and for tech in a way so that they can respond to the challenge. So the challenge is concerning, but for artists, product innovation, but they need to specify the challenge more.
Okay, the next question is, so the tech suppliers have to accept the selection and proposal of manufacturing SMEs And this will be enough to start the consortium preparation and start communications.
Can I add something here in general for everybody? So if you know a certain technology, so let's say like a certain manufacturing factory, which you think that, you know, many of you already knew that who you're going to work with, you can ask them to initiate the invitation process. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, may I answer this? The above, the tech suppliers have to accept, etc. It's actually the other way around. As we said, the manufacturing SME is the one who initiates the tender. Then the suppliers have to express their interest that they really want to work on this, and the manufacturer has to accept this expression of interest so that they can move on the proposal stage. So all the acceptance, practically, from moving from one stage to another is done by the manufacturing, who either accepts some offer or rejects it.
There are more questions for you, Panos. I don't know if, because we are running out of time and we still have another session. Ali, what do you recommend? To go through all the questions or the...
I think we can handle the questions in the offline mode also.
Mm-hmm. Or we can get all the questions, and since most of them are very technical for a run, maybe we can gather them and then Panos, we can reply to all of them by email or something.
There is a question from just from Clara Davis. Yes, of course, you can send them a message on the RAM to contact you, so they will initiate so they can actually start the expression of interest together with you. So of course you can contact them. You can contact the company, and the same applies to the technology suppliers.
Exactly. I think we can use 2 more minutes at least to try to solve some. Okay. So it's to solve at least some more questions, and maybe the technical ones could move on. So I think so. We already have some matches because we know more or less the SMEs and the artists and tech, but these better matches will be after the SMEs explain their challenges. Then we'll have a more better insight.
Does actually ask if the tech providers will be informed before the 6th of May or later?
No, like I said, they will be if the SMEs accept these 3 more suitables, they will receive an offer to respond to the challenges. Okay, and the presentations, I think we can share some guides for the matchmaking process, and this will be also recorded, but
Okay, then Luis is asking if we are going to share the presentations. We are going to share the recordings for sure, and probably the presentations too. This IoT platform, is there some website about it? Who owns, supports it? I think this has already been discussed. I think this question was made during Ali's presentation. So if it is not clear, Sebastian, you can still ask. Is it possible to present a proposal for a technology even in case we didn't submit an expression of interest? Yes, of course. In this case, which is the procedure, then you would be considered an outsider, and you can be in contact or get in contact with another artist and another manufacturer and SME, and put together a joint proposal. The open call will be launched on the 1st of May until the 15th of July, so stay tuned, and by the end of the month, you will see in our microsite all the guide for applicants and all the documents you need, and the full proposal template that was explained by Ali in this site. Is there a space on Ramp where artists can upload information about themselves and their practice, including images of that work?
Yes, I think in the coming days, this profile section where we have the profile section on the marketplace where you describe yourself and your company, this will be further developed and evolved. So there will be a place for the artists. Not only artists, but for everyone.
Okay. How can we use Ramp to seek all manufacturing SMEs that are registered? First, is it possible?
Yeah, this is not LinkedIn or Facebook to search like that. And in general, I think it's not the purpose of the platform to do those kind of things. So yes, you cannot just randomly contact people there.
Next question is, for me, it's difficult to understand. Not knowing artists should register as manufacturer.
Yes, I can reply. You have to use the contact form. It does matter, actually. So please use the contact form to delete the account and start over the registration with the correct type.
RAM platform question. When filling user details, how should artists name themselves? The field available is company name. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. If you are a freelancer, you can have your full name and also tick the box that says I'm a freelancer.
Are the manufacturers supposed to make tenders to start proposal writing?
Okay, so I think this is a question, is a very important question. So the idea of using RAMP here is to help us through this matchmaking to find the consortium, the team to start building the proposal to submit, the full proposal to submit until the 5th of July. So, on the 15th of July. So these tenders work like the way to find the matches for the SMEs to find the artists and the tech suppliers to form the trio. So yes, you are supposed to make these tenders. These are not real tenders because you are not actually buying something, but you are supposed to make these tenders in the platform to start building the consortium in order to start proposal writing.
Okay, thank you. Is the IoT platform fireware.org? Are manufacturers free to use other software platforms?
No, I think this is the platform you are required to use here. There is a particular reason for it, because we do not, first of all, if you're using some whatever random platform, we cannot provide any support for that. All the technologies we provide, they are compatible and standardized for this platform. And this is very important because if you do your experiment with your own platform, how the developed technology and the tools what we have developed can be beneficial for all the manufacturing SMEs in Europe. So try to understand that this funding is public funding. The idea is that it's supposed to help you in a way that the results are scalable, applicable, and they have a wide application. So we are not funding each company just for themselves.
Okay. Is it mandatory to buy services products on the RAM platform in order to present the joint proposal?
We have already answered this. I think we just exceeded the time, and I think more or less the questions are repeating itself. So I think that one of the important ones is there a user guide for this platform? And
Yes.
the last one also.
Yes, about the user guide. There is, but it's a bit outdated. But yes, I think it would be a good idea because it also explains exactly this tendering procedure. Maybe by next week we can share with or upload it somewhere in the Better Factory website that can be accessible.
I think that would be great, Panos. And maybe the last one.
Maybe the last one, what about protection of rights of the proposed design solutions patent applications?
Yeah, all IPR is protected by when you register by the rules of the platform. All IPR is protected. We are all supposed to be, of course, you're writing the proposal, you're going to submit the proposal, so somebody can always share it. It has nothing to do with the platform, but according to the rules of the platform, according to the rules of the project, all IPR is protected. It belongs to you, and that's it.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ali. I think that now we can close this Q&A session, and we can move forward to the last topic, which is the challenges definitions for SMEs.
Yes.
This session led by Marta Coto, Rodolfo Groenewoud van Vliet, and Ali Mohammed. So maybe Marta.
Yes, I can start.
It is important to say that for those of you who are not manufacturing SME, you can stay, but it is not mandatory that you stay. It's going to be a session basically devoted to the manufacturing SMEs.
Yes, but if you want to understand better the process, I know that this could be in this beginning sometimes a little bit confusing, so you are more than welcome to stay. Let me try to see if I can share the correct screen with you. If not, I'm sorry. So
you need to change your screen.
I know. I'm sorry. So I need to add this like this. Okay, you are now seeing the correct one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with just a quick overview of what is a challenge definition. So properly, a challenge definition is something that competes with us or is a threat or something that needs great mental or physical effort to be done successfully. So that's why it's called a challenge. And it's an invitation to compete or to take part in a game or in this process. That is exactly what it is. So moving on, as I explained before, you SMEs have already in the express of interest filled out some fields, complete some fields where you explained your challenges, and this is a way to try to repeat the process or improve the process, because some of you have completed this part better than others. So this is the time to improve this part. So you have answered the key challenges of your SME. So this is it concerning product innovation. So you can explain this a little bit better this time, and you have also explained the barriers and the motivation. So you now will have to just change this a little bit, and you can have a description more or less alike like this one. So you can have a description of the SMEs, or you can switch, skip this part, and you can have the description of the challenges. And this is what you are going to briefly explain on the problem part, so that the ones can respond, the artists or the tech suppliers. And I am speaking about the artist challenge in this moment. Ali will speak about the tech suppliers. And then you need to explain the state of the art of your product, so where you are and where you want to go. This is the very important thing. And then this last part, you are going to be able to do this on the proposal stage, like Panos explained. So after you have accepted 2 or 3 of the offers you have requests to the artists, then is moved to the proposal phase, and then this is the time for you to submit, to upload some content concerning the product you want to be worked on, or any video. So this is the time for it and the space for it. And then the artists will reply, will upload a proposal, and then the proposal will explain how they want to solve the problem of the product that you explain on your challenge. And then they are very recommended to upload images or sketches or 3D files, any content to inspire the SMEs in order to be selected. Okay. And now I am moving on to probably a part that it's a little bit more complicated to you. So in collaborative projects like this one, we can have 4 types of collaborations to define. And in this project, Better Factory, we are working mainly in the challenge-driven and the mission-driven. The challenge-driven will be done in a short term, and the mission-driven will be done in a long term during the KTA. So the phase of 16 months that you are going to be in once you are selected. And let's finger cross that you are the ones likely to be selected. So we know that about the artists, more and more companies throughout the world assert that in addition to scientific and technological skills, one of the critical skills needed for innovation to happen and to be a value for society is creativity. And we know that since creativity is rooted in the artistic practice, the expertise and practices of artists can directly drive and influence innovation in technology. They offer alternative perspectives, they inspire surprising directions, and they can really act as catalysts for successful and socially responsible transformation of technologies into products and new social, ecological, and economic models. So this is what we are looking for, and we expect for the artists to do in collaboration with the SMEs. So, like I said, we have 2 different routes. Here we have the challenge-driven. So the artists are going to be involved directly in addressing an industrial challenge to prototype possible solutions to the problem. This is based on a well-defined problem within a well-defined domain, and the outcome will actually be a new product use case. So product diversification. And in a long term, during the KTAs, we will have the mission driven. So the artists will be involved in an innovation project in order to explore new paths to progress that respond to the direction set by a mission. And this is based on, of course, a more broad defined problem within a well-defined domain, and the outcome will actually be a strategy of ideas or prototypes that respond to this mission. Okay, so the expected output of this artist creation itself will be that the artist will, of course, address the product challenge defined. And the artists and SMEs are expected to collaborate since the beginning with the help of the art mentor, and they will be observing, probing in manufacturing space, mapping of relations and roles, co-tinkering, and finally prototyping. And the output will not be just one, but it will be done by momentous. So number of workable concepts around the SME's new products, exemplifying how and what this can be customized for individualization. The process will be repeated during the QTAs multiple times as needed. Okay, so now I will share with you, okay, more concretely, my colleague Rodolfo will share with you some examples that of the art business collaboration for new product developments and some more other examples. So Rodolfo, if you are here and you want to start speaking about this, you are welcome. Are Rodolfo here?
I think he is.
Yeah, I saw at least
Yes.
earlier.
Yes, I think he's muted. He needs to be unmuted by the host.
Okay.
Okay. Let me.
Yes, now I'm muted. Now everybody can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the next slide. It's already 2:05. This session was supposed to last until 5, so
yeah.
we will do this as quickly as possible. This is just for some inspiration and some ideation. What we listed here is a couple of existing projects from existing artists with collaborators that could serve as an inspiration towards you manufacturing SMEs, mainly into what types of directions a collaboration could go. Just to make sure none of these artists are actually also applying for this, for Better Factory. We identified 3 routes. One could be more towards innovating on products or services. A second, which involves more around consulting or sharing knowledge, transferring knowledge. And a third one, which is more related to a portfolio innovation. Next slide, please. Oh, yes, next. So what could you think of? For example, some of the SMEs in our group that have been pre-selected have come up with a challenge that revolves around an existing product. They have an existing product which they want to innovate around or on top of. It could be in many different directions. An outcome could be something like what you see here, a project by Björn Karman, who has actually created a new device to add on to an existing device. It's a little bit too far stretched to read this out to you, but as the recording will be shared, you can slowly read into the project later on. Let's go to the next one for now. Or, as Lilian van Daal has done in the project, it could evolve much more around testing new materials or testing new types of forms of shapes to redesign a product or recreate it altogether. Lilian here, for instance, inspired by nature, biomimicry, has collaborated with industry to produce 3D printed stools or seatings that are completely modular and consistent of one material. Please go to the next one. That's much more on the product side. What this project could also evolve around in your collaboration with artists is much more around sharing knowledge or tapping into the expertise that the artist can bring. You could call that creative innovation consulting, if you like. Next one, please. One example of this is a Belgian artist called Angelo Vermeulen. He is not just an artist, but also a scientist, a biologist. And in a long-term artistic practice has built up so much knowledge that for different clients, he is acting not so much as a creator of works of art, but as a source of knowledge towards them. there are many projects for these artists available online if you would like to know more. Next one, please. A third type of collaboration you can think of in a KTE with artists is much more around a portfolio of products. So in the first one, some of the SMEs have presented a very specific product that they want to innovate on or around, but it could also be much more that you're interested in looking at the complete portfolio and seeing what could happen there. And also here we present just one single example. A collaboration between a Dutch artist designer, Piet Hein Eek, and IKEA. IKEA is known for collaborating with designers and creating, well, complete new collections with them. In collaboration with Piet Hein Eek, they tried to come up with much more like a system that could basically continuously lead to new product development by the name of handmade, mass-produced. And the idea was the artist creates handmade models of new products. And in the following slides, you'll see 3 examples later on. This is the second one, around wood or ceramics or textiles. And those handmade models get produced in a limited edition. And the model itself could be used as a mold to mass produce it. What happens then, if you go to the next slide, Marta, is that by adding very little variations in the handmade models, the impression can be suggested that if you go to IKEA, you can actually buy a handmade product because none of the ones on the shelf look alike, although they are in fact mass produced. And there's a last picture of this process afterwards. Well, as said, these are just a few of many possible examples that we could bring, and we will share more with you later on during these matchmaking processes. But it's to give you an idea as a manufacturing SME that the collaboration with an artist could evolve around a very specific product idea, or much more a portfolio strategy of products and innovation, and or it could also be combined, of course, much more around sharing knowledge and insights. I think this is it, Marta. I try to keep it as short as possible.
Thank you very much, Rodolfo. So I think we can now move to the challenges for the technology suppliers. So I don't know, Ali, if you want to share the screen or I can do it.
You can go ahead and I will just say slides, next slide.
So I will change for the next one.
Okay, so I think you have already seen this picture. So as somebody also asked the question, so what we offer here, or what you are required to use, is this standard IoT platform, because that's the basis for everything we do. Actually, I mentioned a number of projects just before when I was presenting the RAM. All of them uses this platform. So the idea is that actually everything happening in all those projects become available to everybody. So by using this platform, it is possible that everything which has been developed before this project can also be used by you. Next slide, please. So there are 4 solutions we offer in the Better Factory, and your challenge is the manufacturing SMEs should define around at least 2 of those challenges, as you can see in the proposal template. We would like you to either define a challenge in your production, that how a cognitive robot solution, a human-robot collaborative solution, can be a choice for you to solve a problem, what you're looking to do. Is it something related to the logistics automation, basically making mobile robots available, or even not mobile robots, basically like how the people or the storage should be done. So that is another thing. And then the resource optimization is about reducing the waste material in the project, in your products, in your factory. And production planning is about like how I'm gonna produce the next batch, how should I reorganize my factory in a way that I have more productivity out of it, using less space, less people, and in general, less resources. Next slide. So on the cognitive human-robot collaboration, what we offer is that how a task can be done together with the robot. There are multiple parts to it, but in a nutshell, the components we offer or the solutions we offer which will work is that there is some, we analyze some static data about the worker, and that what is the age, gender, health, and other height and other stuff about this particular worker, and plus the dynamic data. So on the daily basis, the worker is wearing maybe, let's say, like a smart watch or something, so we can actually observe that if the worker is getting tired, and or is it slowing down, or has he left, and then at the same time the robot behavior should be adopted according to it. And you can choose this challenge if you think that there is a part in your factory where you can deploy robots to support the working of the human. So the whole task cannot be automated, but the productivity of the worker can be increased by adding a co-working robot. Next slide. This is a picture, a general architecture, which is applicable to almost everything what we are doing here. So you have this RAMP IoT platform, this set of components. This is not a comprehensive set of components. This is just an example. And that is why you have to use this IoT platform, because all the components we provide, they are compatible with this platform. Next slide. Then the logistics optimization is the other possible challenge. If you think that your factory can benefit from the optimization of material flow, then you should really apply for that, for one of those challenges. Again, the technologies we supply is the local robots are made smarter, how they can move in an unorganized environment, and also we have centralized perception. So basically, like the overall, the whole fleet of the robot, how it should function. And basically, there are functions which automatically plan and optimize and give you the best solution for the material flow. You can see the benefit of that at the very bottom. And then again, this is a very similar architecture you saw. Is again, there are a number of components we provide, and again, all these components, they are compatible with this. And fundamentally, if you're using this solution, because most of the things, everything comes ready, companies in the past have been able to deploy and complete their solution within weeks. Within a week or two, they are able to do this. So this is the benefit of using the standardized technology. Next slide. Resource optimization, again, we provide on the marketplace. There are certain tools which you can utilize, for example, for data analytics, for seeing that what could be happening in your factory from one point to another, where could be lag, where could be your, you can actually do more. And then there is also, we provide some self-learning, deep learning algorithms based on AI, where the data is collected and continuously provide you better and better solutions. And the benefits, you can see that what benefits you can get. Next slide, Marta, please. Yeah, so here you can see that the factory on the RAM, you see certain tools which gives you the information that what has been happening before in your factory and what has been happening later. You can also compare your factory with the other factories, that, okay, if I'm using this much energy per process, what is happening with other furniture manufacturers in Europe. And the deep learning algorithms, of course, they run on clouds. So here you can see the difference in architecture, because these algorithms, they cannot be possibly running on a server in your factory. They require too much computation and data. Same goes with the production planning. So we provide a 3D factory tool. You will be required to develop your 3D factory. Actually, the fundamental idea of 3D factory is not only for production planning, but it can also be utilized by the technology supplier to provide you the best solution. To test your solution, to validate your solution, to show your solution. Actually, this virtual 3D factory is one of the most powerful tools when delivering new solutions. companies spend, like the big manufacturer spends, if not millions, hundreds of thousands of euros per year per factory just to keep a good 3D model of their factory. So for an SME, this could be a wonderful thing to have. I think, yeah, so this is how it is going to be. So you have a GUI and 3D, they are all located on the marketplace. So the solutions you produce, they can be accessed through the marketplace. I think that is all from, there was one more slide. Yeah, so I think this is just basically what we offer. So all the connectors to connect your devices to the factory, in the factory, the components to implement the solution, and the documentation of the component, and the technical support. So we will provide all this. If you use whatever solution, if you use whatever platform, obviously we cannot provide any of this.
Okay, thank you very much, Ali. So I think we have ended the presentation for today. I believe we have exceeded the time in 15 minutes. I don't know if there is still time for some.
There is one question from Cesar. Can we find the proposal template? The proposal template would be available on 1st of May when the calls will open. And it will be, you can go to the call website. So you go to the Better Factory, where you will click to the open call, and you will be taken to the place where you can download the template.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember some questions that probably have not been answered about someone that have registered in the wrong way, classified himself as an SME by being not an SME. So I don't know if we have answered this question, but probably they can fix it.
Yeah, I think this is something you can ask Panos if he can fix this in the database, or then your account will be deleted and then you register again. So I think I will point this out about the ramp. As you can see, that this is a work in progress. So you will have some difficulty when you will be using that platform, and I apologize for that already. But the point is that that's the reason. If it would be a wonderful functioning platform, we will not be paying you 200,000 euros for this experiment. We will be asking you 200,000 euros to use it. So you can understand that why we are paying for you to use it.
Yes, of course, you are part. That's why it's called if you are approved, then this is that's why this is called an experiment. So
yes,
knowledge transfer experiment. Just to conclude this, so SMEs don't have to register themselves for the presentation on the 6th or 7th of May. You will be receiving an email saying that you need to be present in the 6th or in the 7th, according to the clusters that I have just presented. I just think that maybe you should have access to the record of the session, but I think that's also okay if you have access to the PDF of the presentations. Maybe it could be better for you to can follow some of these indications. Also, like Panos said, he will be preparing a guide for some of the questions, so a quick guide for the ramp platform in order for you to be able to follow all this process. So I think this is it. We will wait for you in the session of the 6th of May. Meanwhile, we will be preparing the list of the more suitable, but we will only send this list after the SME is presenting these challenges, because they can change more or less the challenges, so this fitting could change. Of course, like we have been said, the artists and the tech suppliers can still contact the SME saying, we have been listening to the session. We are very interested in responding to your challenge. Please invite me to respond. So that's the other way around that this can happen. So I think this is it for today. About the Slack channel for communication, I think communication should be happening in RAMP.
Yeah, but if you have particular question regarding the proposals and all that, the best place is to apply on the help desk for the proposals.
Yes.
Okay, so I think this is it. Thank you very much. Antonio, do you want to say something, or Ali, in order to close the session?
No, I'm fine. Just thanks to all of you for organizing this and for every participant to participate.
Yes.
Yes, only that we will make available the recording very soon. So we will contact all the participants.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a nice rest of the day. Bye-bye.